Volatile trade in Tesla. It is up right now in the after-hour session. Elon Musk speaking on the company's webcast. Let's get to Phil LeBeau for the details. Phil.
Melissa, the Q&A part of the conference call where the analysts are getting a chance to ask questions is just now beginning. During the prepared remarks, Elon Musk kept his comments fairly brief, although he did allude to the fact that when you look at the first quarter, keep in mind that they had very lumpy production and lumpy deliveries in terms of surges as well as gaps in those deliveries. Here's what he had to say about the rush of deliveries at the end of the quarter.
All deliveries occurred in literally the final 10 days of Q1. As a result, a large number of vehicle deliveries shifted into Q2, which caused Q1 net income to be negatively impacted, as we simply could not get the vehicles to customers physically in time. In response to this, we are in the process of regionally balancing our vehicle builds throughout the quarter.
By the way, keep in mind that they expect to have the Shanghai plant, Melissa. They expect that to be up and running by early in the fourth quarter. We're going to hop back on the call. We'll bring you more as Elon continues to talk with analysts.
All right, Phil, thanks. Phil LeBeau. Let's get back to Gene Munster. Gene, what's the grade on Tesla?
So, Melissa, I'm going with a B- here. The reason on the negative side is that they missed the delivery numbers for the quarter. They're having logistics problems in China and Europe. On the positive side, the cash balance was about $500 million more than what I was expecting. They also announced other products, other initiatives, other upside to the story, whether it's autonomy. Musk announced on the call that they're going to come out with an auto insurance product. This is going to compete with the likes of Geico and State Farm. The reason is that those players, Geico and State Farm, are basically fleecing the Tesla owners. Those cars are less likely to get in accidents, but they charge more premiums. So if you put this all together, I think the quarter was largely in guidance, largely as expected. The company is going to continue to have a rough 2019, but I still feel confident that they will reach escape velocity and fundamentally change transportation.
Why do you want a company like Tesla to go into auto insurance? They're going into autonomy. They're going into all these different lines of businesses. Don't you want them to just focus on cars?
In the near term, absolutely. And the near term is focused on cars. I think some of the difficulties that they're having with logistics, they're very open to talking about some of the long-term opportunity to get investors to focus on the bigger long-term picture. But to also answer your question, is it does make sense for Tesla to play in the insurance game because they have probably the best insight in terms of the reliability of these cars. I did get a chance to do a test drive with the full standard driving features, and I can attest that I am not a good driver, Melissa, and I welcome these types of features to improve my insurance.
The world welcomes them too, Gene, to keep us from you. Gene, thank you. We're going to see you tomorrow for Amazon earnings, so this won't be the last of Gene by far. Pete, what's your reaction so far?
First of all, he's not a great driver. That's why he rides a bike around Minneapolis. We see each other all the time. I would say this, Gene talks about they missed on deliveries, right? I mean, they missed on earnings. They missed on deliveries. They've got a lot of different issues that I think are pretty negative. So B-, I think Gene's being pretty generous with that grading.
What would your grade be?
Oh, I'd be closer to probably a C-. But the cash balance is something that was, I thought, pretty interesting. I mean, and I'm not sure how that came out the way it did, but the fact that they've got the cash balance that they do, that actually is impressive to me.
Mr. Short, what do you say?
Well, I tell you what, first of all, I'm incredulous they say they're going to produce 90 to 100,000. They're going to have 90 to 100,000 deliveries in the second quarter after doing 61. And again, this comment about the last week of the quarter and this and that, I mean, it's to me getting to a place where that's an absurd thing to say. In terms of the CapEx, again, they're cutting CapEx massively. How are you growing? Whatever happened to the Model 3 changing the world? If anything, this is a company that's slowing down everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing good here.
Quick, do we hold the quintuple bottom?
I don't think we do.
You don't think we do now? Okay.
It's the fifth time we're down here. There's nothing that prevents the name from bouncing here, but 270 is good resistance. You're a seller above 270.
Quick grade, please. Quick grade.
That's a D. That's a D in my D.
How's
for dog.